Hello and welcome to my review on the brand new 2024 20-foot head-turning cat inflatable from At Home. These have started to creep into stores and just became available online, retailing for $209.99. With the manufacturer being stated neither there nor on the box, one thing's for sure, and that this is not a Jimmy design. This is a first for the channel, at least in terms of inflatables, so it'll be nice to compare its quality to a brand we're familiar with. Now, some of you may know of a product called the Two-Story Cat, and for me, not only was it a video I'd watch on repeat at the age of 9, but it was also an item that to this day, I really love the look of. Since Hammacher Schlemmer redid the original Two-Story Cat last year, this at-home version is certainly the closest to it. Features from the old have been carried over, such as a Cheshire Cat-like grin, an animated head, and a thin figure with its tail straight up. The box has a clean black and white trim with a picture of the cat in an evening setting on 3 of our sides and some instruction info on the back. The most important takeaway in regards to the box, however, are the dimensions, of which I believe are too small for routine use. It's been squeezed in there, as you can tell by the bulging corners and curved sides, so I'd suggest a tote when storing for the season. With everything now out of the way, let's unbox the newest behemoth from At Home. Equipped with an AH4, it actually has a fan Jimmy themselves has been known to put on their inflatables, and fortunately is almost as strong as the YEF 200, their most powerful fan. It's still not one of their products because the stakes this comes with are reminiscent, yet clearly different from Jimmy's Colossal stakes. These are white with only one hook, but are the same size. Another key difference are the tethers and the tether clips. The cat is given plastic clips opposed to metal, not a big fan of that, and the tether material is parachute cord rather than rope, meaning they'll have some more give. It's worth mentioning just how long these tethers are. You're given an excessive amount of cord, clocking in at just shy of 20 feet, and because you never want the stakes too far away from the inflatable itself, 12 feet is probably the most you'd ever use. There are a total of 10 heavy-duty stakes, with 6 being for tie downs, the rest being for a tether loop on each foot. I do also need to show you the flimsy metal stakes that are given for the fan. I don't recommend using these. I like to opt for a thick side staple, much more appropriate. With something substantial like this, it's what it needs. That was a lot to go over, and there's of course plenty more to come. Time to plug in and see what else we're in for. Taking roughly a minute and 40 seconds to stand, it's definitely to be expected with this guy's gargantuan size. His tail, I believe, eclipses the advertised 20 feet, as the other 20-foot inflatables I've reviewed in this exact same spot do not reach as far as that. It's always great to get more than advertised, but the drawback is it doesn't inflate super well. There is noticeable creasing up and down the legs, and you can see how much I'm able to push in on areas that should inflate the strongest. Now, the good part about having an external fan is if you wanted to do a little bit of customizing, you could adjust the tube to fit a bigger motor. This would require time as well as add to the $210 you've already spent, but I think it's worth keeping in mind for longevity. Piggybacking off that long-term use discussion, you'll be pleased to know this is made entirely out of Colossal or boom bounce fabric, which is a thicker, more durable material than 95% of all other inflatables, so if taken proper care of, you'll be having many seasons of monstrous fun. It's a good time now to dive deeper into the amazing features this has, beginning with what everyone is going to see first, the rotating head, from those razor-sharp teeth to the engaged, ready-to-pounce eyes, not to mention the popping red and white color scheme. I don't know how much better it could look. You also have 4 claws per foot, and what I'm grateful they did not do was attach a triangular piece of fabric and call it a day. I've always found that to be the lazy approach. These here jut out to half a foot and elevate the design as a whole. At this point in the review, I feel it's an opportunity to get specific about some of the need-to-knows for displaying the 20-foot cat. For starters, he takes up way more room deflated than not. It also does take a long time to deflate, and the reason for that is there being just one zipper. The cat's biggest design flaw is no doubt at having a single zipper, when in reality, it needs about 5. The bare minimum should be a second underneath the belly, with a third under the head to let water out, because I can tell you now, getting water out of the feet or completely dry for storage, it's going to be harder than it ought to be. Next, if you want more than an overall length, width, and height, I have gone ahead and measured. The front paws are naturally 23 inches apart, the back paws are 15, the width from front to the back is 30 inches, not counting the claws, and clearance averages 9 feet. I figured someone would look at this and see an archway. Hopefully, this helps. The legs can be adjusted moderately, so if you need an extra few inches here or there, it won't put stress on any of the seams. I have it now how I like it. The front paws are a little farther apart than the back, and I've stopped the stakes halfway, not to tug on the feet. Finally, you have 10 LED lights in all. There are 6 lights in the body, 3 in the head, and the last is in the tail. I will say, if you want to keep a feeling of awe when the sun goes down, you're going to need a spotlight because the lights don't hardly do anything. Unfortunate, but necessary not to lose it in the darkness. Finally, the review would not be complete without taking a look at the animation mechanism. It's very similar to Jimmy's teeter-totter motor. In terms of size, I believe it's the exact same, and also it rotates 90 degrees. You can see a bit of fabric which protrudes out there. This allows it to not oscillate perfectly, but actually give it some depth as it's moving its face. I love the look of it, and I think it's just right. And that will conclude my dissecting on At Home's brand new 2024 animated head-turning cat. What an inflatable, what a wow factor this brings. If you're interested in getting it, I highly suggest doing so as soon as possible. My local store did sell out. I'm unaware if there's going to be a second shipment. Who knows? Remember, shipping is available, so utilize that if you have to. Anyways, until next time, I'll see you later. Peace out. Bye.